With wines like Romanée-Conti and Loire reaching 5 figures a bottle, Burgundy on a budget kind of seems like a misnomer. Burgundy keeps shooting through the roof because of supply and demand. There are some values to be found, relative values here today. I have 5 different wines that are around the $25 and under price point, which is pretty difficult when it comes to Burgundy. My hot tip is when you want value in Burgundy, you want to look to whites, especially Chardonnay. I even think in the more expensive wines, especially the $30, $40, $50 mark, Chardonnay from Burgundy is still a great value compared to Chardonnay from all around the world. You look at ambitious Chardonnays from places like Australia, South America, Italy, America, those wines can regularly hit 50 bucks and up. Of course, red Burgundy is the benchmark for Pinot Noir, white Burgundy is the benchmark for Chardonnay, but there are some other grapes that are permitted in Burgundy. You'll see Aligoté, you'll see some Gamay spread out through Burgundy, Sauvignon Blanc even, and Sauvignon Gris too, along with some Pinot Blanc. But really the name of the game is Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. For the best value when it comes to Burgundy, you want to look to places that are in the south, like the Côte Chalonnaise or the Mâcon, or even Beaujolais, which is technically in Burgundy, although it's a lot of times separated. The 5 wines I do have here are either from Côte Chalonnaise or the Mâcon. Let's taste them, see if they deliver some bang for your buck. Okay, starting out, we have a bottle of bubbles, a Cremant de Bourgogne. This is the Cave de Bissey, the Cremant de Bourgogne Brut, non-vintage. This is 60% Aligoté, 30% Pinot Noir, 10% Chardonnay, aged on the lees for 18 months, made in the champagne method, if those terms are way over your head. I made a video about all the technical aspects of champagne. Do a search for it on YouTube. Cremants are sparkling wines that can be made all over France. Some of the common ones you'll see is Cremant de Bourgogne, you'll see Cremant de Alsace, Cremant de Loire, Cremant de Bordeaux. They can deliver some really good value for money. I have yet to taste a Cremant that reaches like the greatness of champagne, but I've tasted some really, really good ones, and at 22 bucks from this cooperative, I'm pretty excited to taste it. Again, cooperative wineries offer ridiculous value for money in Burgundy like elsewhere. Also, some of the negociants, the big houses like Gueguen, Château, which buy wine and then bottle under the label, they can bottle some really, really nice wines too. Here we go, tilt the bottle 45-degree angle, try to make as little noise as possible. There we go. All right, tasting out of my Zalto Universal glass. It's a Zalto kind of day. I've got a new Zalto glass that's kind of on premiere. I'm excited to taste. I'm closing this off with my Curveux sparkling system because it's bubbles. I'm gonna drink it later. These wines are all imported into America, by the way. Maybe you just have to search them out. Looks like a fine bead of bubbles. Let me give this a smell here. Okay. This is pretty toasty. I'm already liking it a lot. Brioche, lemon, mineral, baked apple. This is quite champagne-y, I have to say. Quite champagne-y. This has a fine bead of bubbles. It doesn't have the length that you might find in great champagne, but my goodness, hold on a second. I'm actually gonna drink that. It's got a great degree of toastiness, which you don't see, that autolytic character, that baked bread, that croissant type flavor that you don't see in a lot of bubbles outside champagne. It does not have the finesse or the length of champagne, but I have to say, this is an exceptional bottle of bubbles. One of the better non-champagne sparkling wines I've had in a long time, especially at this price. I am 89 points. I kind of want to go to 90. I just want a little bit more length. But at 22 bucks, if you're looking for champagne-like flavors, you know, the cool thing about the grape Aligoté, it's a pretty neutral grape variety. So since it's 60% Aligoté, you have that long lees aging. You can add some of those autolytic characteristics to the wine. That's pretty darn exceptional for me. I think that's a buy. Excellent. We have a wine from the Mâcon. This is Domaine Curveux Guillaume. Mâcon-Fuissé. 2023. This comes in at 25 bucks. 100% Chardonnay. This is not barrel fermented. made in stainless steel, hence the price is probably a little more attractive. I know a lot of people are intimidated when buying Burgundy because a lot of times the wines don't say Burgundy on them. They say Bourgogne often, which is French for Burgundy, or they have the name of the villages or the vineyards like Mâcon-Fuissé. Even me, I would not call myself the world's foremost expert on Burgundy. There are so few people that really know Burgundy. I would say go to your shop. If you have a question, just ask. It's really hard to know all the villages and all the plots of Burgundy. It's just difficult. Tasting out of a brand new glass. This is the Zalto balance glass. A lot of people say it's the exact same shape of the Burgundy glass. It's not. It's significantly shorter than the universal glass. It's smaller. This thing is dangerously light too. For macerated wines, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, I actually have an upcoming video. We're gonna taste high-end glasses to find the best glass for Pinot Noir. So that's coming up. Let's taste. I'm tasting these wines a little bit cooler, not necessarily cold. When it comes to Chardonnay or big whites, especially barrel fermented Chardonnays, I like to taste them on the cool side, not necessarily cold. Let's give, oh, this is a sexy glass. Usually I like the glass a little bit taller. It feels kind of weird that's so light and it's not kind of top heavy. It's pretty balanced. Let's give this a smell here. Now that is pretty. I might, like, this is a great nose. It's... Mineral comes out. I got like a green Jolly Rancher, green apple Jolly Rancher flavor. Apple, some white pear, just a little bit of yogurt from the lees. You know, we'll see on the palate. This nose, sometimes I can get confused with some like fresh Italian varieties, something like Verdicchio. But it smells really attractive, I have to say. Hold on a sec. We'll see what texture is like. The Mâconnais is the furthest south in Burgundy before you hit Beaujolais. Actually, the southern end of the Mâconnais hits the northern tip of Beaujolais. No Grand Crus down there, but some really banging Chardonnays. People that want the big, fruity or oaky New World Chardonnays, you're not going to go for this. This is a wine that has more nuance. It has more mineral flavors. Texture and white Burgundy is what really separates it. And you do have like the sandy texture here. Again, I want a little bit more length here, but I think that you really can't deny the quality here. Man, I'm gonna go a hard 88 points. I think this is very good, and it's 2023. Might be better with time. I'm actually trying to be conservative. I like it a little bit more. Like, you know what? I'm gonna go this sparkling wine. I'm gonna go back to 90, and I'm gonna go to 89 on this because I really like the texture. I think you're getting a lot of bang for your buck here. That's good. Let's move on. Weird appellation. This is the Famille Gueguen. This is the Saint-Bris Sauvignon 2022. Saint-Bris is just southwest of Chablis. It's the only appellation in Burgundy that allows for Sauvignon Blanc, which we have here. Also, Sauvignon Gris can be used. I know it seems a little bit odd, but actually Chablis is pretty close to Sancerre. It's closer to Sancerre than it is to Beaune, so that's why stylistically I think Chablis kind of matches the Sancerre style. And then this is in between Sancerre and Chablis, so I've never tasted a Saint-Bris before. So kudos to you if you knew that this is the only appellation that allows for Sauvignon Blanc, by the way. I've never tasted it. Let's give it a go. Personally, I love the Sancerre style, even though I think I like Pouilly-Fumé a little bit more. Also, I love that Chablis style. Whoop, spilling it all over the place. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this tastes like. A Sauvignon Blanc from Burgundy. That's weird. Let's go. That's why it says Curiosité de Bourgogne. Okay, fans of New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, stay away from this. This is not where you're going to get. This is going to be definitely more mineral. It's kind of got a little bit of a grassiness to it. It's got a little bit of this this flinty crushed rock flavor. It's not super explosive wine, to be honest, but I'm definitely digging the mineral notes. It's got like this French sensibility. I love French whites a lot. It's got a little bit of perfume, a little bit of kiwi fruit. Not all the way Sancerre style. Not all the way into something that's fruity and tooty. I feel like this wine, I would like it to come together a little bit more. It's not my favorite wine in the world. Also kind of reminds me, I think some wines from Gascogne it reminds me of in the southwest of France. I'm 87 points on this bad boy. 28 bucks. It is a little bit more expensive. I mean, at that price, you're already getting some decent Sancerre or some decent Pouilly Fumé. So these first two, I recommend highly. This one, I'm not getting as crazy about, but it's cool. It's an oddity. I'm glad I tasted the Saint-Bris. Let's move on. By the way, I want to let you know, check out channel memberships in the second tier, the Grand Reserve tier. I've organized a monthly live hangout tasting where you can come up on screen, hang out, share your wines. We can just talk shop. I've also launched a live video podcast. Members of the Grand Reserve tier can come up on screen and ask a question, call in like a live radio show. It also supports the work I do here, so thanks a lot. Next up is a barrel fermented Chardonnay, which I'm super excited about. This is the Château de Chamilly. This is the Bourgogne Chardonnay 2022. This comes in at 26 bucks. This is barrel fermented. I didn't check. I believe that this family producer's in the Côte Chalonnaise, I think. I'll have to double check on that. Barrel fermented Chardonnay at 26 bucks. Sounds good on paper. Okay, let's give this a go. Really hard to find barrel fermented Chardonnay at this price point these days, 26 bucks. Let's give this a smell. Got the nice blend of a little bit of oak, the kiss of oak, but not too much oak. It's kind of got a little bit of bacon fat. I know it's kind of weird that you get that with barrel fermented wines or wines fermented in the barrel. I know that doesn't sound super appealing, but it is to me. A lot of peach flavors. Smells a little bit warmer, riper. Peach, a little bit of dried pineapple, mineral. Like this was really minerally, this wine right here. This one has a little bit more fruit quality to it. Hold on a second. This right here has the minerally texture of white Burgundy. I love this wine, first of all. I don't think that's even close to showing its greatness yet. I would love to keep this in the cellar for 5 years. I'm 90 plus points on this. To get a Chardonnay of this quality, especially from Burgundy at 26 bucks, I think it's exceptional. It's not too oaky. The oak is nice. It's rounded. It's not too acidic, not too sour, which can bother a lot of people sometimes with white wines. The texture, I used to think that white Burgundy was some of the most overrated wines in the world because I used to get fooled a lot in blind tastings of great Chardonnays from all over the world. However, in recent years, I've been doing a lot of aged white Burgundy tastings. And man, when they age, that's when I start to realize, okay, that's what makes white Burgundy white Burgundy. This is an exceptional bottle of wine. Even a little bit of salt in it. That's really good. That's buy. Let's move on to the only red. Red Burgundy's hard to find value here. This is from Cave de Bissey, the same as the sparkling wine. This is the Le Clos d'Augustin Bourgogne Pinot Noir 2020. Comes in at 22 bucks. One of the cheapest red Burgundies I think I've ever seen. Cheapest one commonly you'll see is Jadot's Bourgogne Pinot Noir. I think that comes in at 19 to 25 bucks. So this could be a winner. We'll see here. This is also from the Mâcon, so it's from the south. It's going to be a little bit warmer. Let's give this a go. Usually with basic Bourgogne Pinot Noir, I say pass. Most of the time, I would rather drink something like a Cru Beaujolais at that price point, or I think there are some wonderful wines from Australia, New Zealand, sometimes California or Oregon, especially if you fight hard and find for it at that kind of price, but let's give this a go here. Okay. This smells good. This has a lot of red raspberry, red cherry. The raspberry really comes out. It's not perfumed. It smells like a warmer style of Pinot Noir, but it does smell really good for a cheap Burgundy. You got some earthy notes as well. Uh-oh, the violets are coming. This is complex. Okay, the nose was so impressive. On the palate, I want a little more concentration. It feels a little bit thin to me. However, as I talk about the fruit quality, the texture here is really lovely. This is a wine that I'd like to smell, I think, more than taste. It's got some tannin too. Burgundy reds have some tannin. That's what surprises a lot of people because people are used to Pinot Noir having soft tannins. Makes me feel like this could age really nice. Hold on. Hard wine to score. I want a little more fruit concentration, but I cannot deny the texture and the complexities on the back end. I'd love to lay this down for a little while. For me, 88 points. I think it's one of the better basic Bourgogne Pinot Noirs that I've ever had. Is it reaching super levels of greatness? No. But I think it's good, especially if somebody wants to try Bourgogne Pinot Noir or Burgundy Pinot Noir. 22 bucks is a great way to get in. That's probably, I mean, that's probably the lowest it's going to go in terms of Burgundy Pinot Noir. The winners for me, I definitely loved this Château de Chamilly Bourgogne Chardonnay 2022 in the Cave de Bissey, the sparkling brut. I thought was outstanding wine. So Burgheads, tell me, where do you find value in Burgundy? I know value is a relative term. Help everybody else out. Drop some producers, regions, village, vineyards in the comments below, and I'll see you guys soon.